Right about there. Let me start that over. Damn it, Billy!
Are you ready?
Pay attention!
Check your reality.
Let's do this! The comments and opinions of this program may be considered offensive. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, Patriots, and welcome back to Uncommon Sense. I am your host, Billy.
And I am Butch.
Can you see my weird mug on the camera now? Yay!
You can finally see the faces behind the voices.
Are you scared yet?
And you're still watching, so this is a good thing.
Are they though? They already turned it off. They're like,
They already turned it off. They don't want to see us.
Help!
My screen just got cracked. Alright, on the serious side, welcome back to another episode of Uncommon Sense. And what we're going to be discussing today is a couple little topics that are not widely known and what their effects are. And we're also going to talk about just a couple things that have happened recently in the news and see what we can get an uncommon perspective on this. So, hold on and let's get to it. What do you got for us today, Billy?
So first, I want to bring up the Travis Scott concert. Okay. Just because no one's talking about it anymore.
Right.
And it bothers me that something like this happened and the media is totally ignoring it.
Yes.
So, I just went on my Bing and searched Travis Scott concert deaths.
Right.
There have been close to 300 lawsuits filed against Travis Scott over the deadly Astroworld concert. On Monday, so just this last Monday, today's the 9th, Scott asked a judge to dismiss 11 lawsuits against him, Rolling Stone reported. 10 people died and hundreds were injured after the crowd surged at the November 5th concert. 8 of those people died at the concert.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a tragedy.
And when they're talking about a crowd surging, the crowd was surging into the concert, not out of the concert. Right. Now, there were people that got trampled. The little boy that died, that was the 10th death, he got trampled.
Wow.
When people were coming out.
Right.
But most of those people died due to what was happening inside the concert.
Yeah.
It was so packed. People couldn't breathe. They couldn't move. They were like falling down on one another. People there described it as literally a concert from hell.
Wow.
One guy literally said he will no longer be listening to that type of music anymore, that God spoke to him that night.
Wow.
Like, that's how insane it was. Some people said people were just falling, and it was almost like they were falling into a black hole and nobody could get up. And yeah, so 8 people died at the concert, 2 of them afterwards.
Wow.
And hundreds of people injured.
Yeah. And since all over music.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
And crap music at that.
Yeah, it's not real good music.
But it's music that a lot of people's kids are listening to, like high schoolers, junior high kids. That's the kind of music they're getting into these days.
Yes.
And I think it's something that parents really need to be aware of. What are these people singing about? And I go down to, like, what is the hertz of the music? Because the hertz actually affects your body.
Yeah. Most recordings nowadays are done in 44 hertz.
Yep.
And for the actual natural sound of things, you have to run it at 48 K
It's
hertz.
48. And the difference is significant.
Yes.
How it affects your body.
Yes.
The one that they broadcast in now actually makes you docile.
Yeah.
It makes people more docile.
Yeah. Guess who's not docile? This Marine.
This cartoonish looking person over here. I even laugh like Goofy.
Oh, gosh.
I actually did that one time, like not meaning to laugh like that.
Right.
It was embarrassing.
I love doing it in the middle of a store somewhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I crow like rooster in stores. Yes. Me crow like rooster. Make everyone go, what the hell was that?
And if you haven't figured out by now, this is Uncommon Sense. We're your uncommon hosts, and we're living in an uncommon world. Time to bring some reality back to
with
America.
uncommon concerts featuring portals to hell. But, I just bring it up because I want people to remember that these kind of things happen, and I want parents to be aware of what their kids are listening to, the kind of concerts they're going to. And it's concerning that these things are being ignored. All right, next topic.
What do you want to talk about next?
I wanted to bring up the Chinese tennis player. Yet another somewhat ignored subject that's concerning.
Very
concerning. Just brush it under the rug.
And if you want to see what America is turning into right now, all you have to do is pay attention to what's going into China right now. That's what's going to eventually. America is going to end up as
if we
allow it.
Stand our ground.
Yeah, we have to stand up. We have to stand together, and we have to say enough is enough.
It is literally up to the patriots.
Yes.
I said something on my other channel that I want to say now too, that we are all collectively, we are Captain America.
Yes.
Okay? No one's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And that heart of a patriot is what the character Captain America was based off of.
Right.
He is the heart of every American patriot. So it is up to us to save the world.
Yes.
To save America and essentially save the world.
Right.
Because when you look around the world, they're depending on us right now. They see that we have that upper hand that they don't. Look at Australia right now. It's a perfect example of what happens when you have too much gun control.
Yeah.
You have to have a license to have a chef's knife.
Yeah,
this is what happens.
This is kind of ridiculous.
Now they're all in COVID camps.
Yeah.
That are certainly not like prisons.
Oh, no, definitely not.
You can look it up and hear the personal accounts for yourself.
Right.
According to the commercials, it's like going to a resort. Going on vacation. Except your vacation is lined with yellow tape as to where you can't walk. Okay. Sorry, got kind of off subject there. So, back to Butch with the Chinese girl.
With the Chinese tennis player.
What was her name again?
Her name is Peng Shuai. Peng Shuai. And as you can tell on the screen, she's actually a quite attractive young lady, and she's very talented as a tennis player. And I don't care what color she is or where she's from. If you got the talent, there's no hiding it. So, and you has to be appreciative of all those talents.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, on the courts, this happened on November 2nd. On the course, 35-year-old Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai is a tour de force. She's a three-time Olympian who has won 25 tour titles over the course of her career, and her trailblazing success has helped to propel women's tennis to new heights in China. Then, this November, she disappeared.
Yep.
And if you want to read more about this article and what's going on, this is on the New York Magazine, The Cut. Here's the date. This is updated on December 2nd, 2021. And this is an article by Bindu Bansanath. So, if you like, go ahead, visit that site and get some more information. Don't just trust us.
And when
we're just rednecks in our shit.
I mean,
but trust your own thinking.
And when you guys find stuff that if it contradicts what we have researched or whatever, we're all down for
Oh, yeah.
For more information,
Yes,
you know,
we are.
or if there's a topic you think of that you want us to cover, let us know.
Yes. Don't be shy.
Send us articles, videos.
Send us links, the factual links to articles and such. We'll review them, and then we'll post them on a future episode.
And we don't have it set up yet for them to send us direct messages, but you can link it in the comments.
Yes. Or if you want, you could send us an email at uncommonsense42020@gmail.com.
This is true. I could link that too.
Yes, we'll link that. Okay, what's next on the list that we wanted to talk about today?
Next, we're going to trash talk our governor. My favorite subject.
Oh, yes. Our governor, she's such a sight to behold.
So, when I opened my internet, this was up there. Oregonians are shunning Americans. I'm sorry. Let me start that over because I can't read today. Oregonians are shunning America's least popular governor. Is she really so bad?
Yes, she is. Yes. As a resident of the state of Oregon, she is the worst governor that you could ever imagine.
She really is.
She is. I mean, she ranked last. She ranked 51 out of 50 states.
Well, like I said before, I don't know anyone that's personally voted for her. What does that tell you?
Yeah, I know. That's just ridiculous.
I think I know one person that doesn't necessarily support her, but doesn't necessarily not support her.
Right.
Just because she don't know enough about any of it. You know, one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, unless you live in Portland.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit of this.
Okay.
Though. It says, it's not a secret that there are some Oregonians that are not a fan of the state's governor. Last month, a polling firm found that Governor Kate Brown's approval rates were the lowest of any governor in the nation. But has the governor had that bad of a run while in office, or is there more at play?
Oh.
The more at play is the unconstitutional and corrupt things that she does behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah. You know, she is just recently caught at an event not wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. She wasn't wearing a mask. She was getting right up close to other people who also weren't wearing masks. But this is where she wants to mandate mask use.
Forever.
And we got to say, no, enough is enough.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of enough is enough, we're going to get into what's going on in California.
Yes. This is a feel-good story.
But really quick, before we get into that, I just want to brief over Robert Grueller's page.
Okay.
And kind of update on what's going on with the Maxwell thing.
All right.
So if you guys want to really follow this trial, I suggest following Robert Grueller, ESQ, live on YouTube. I will link his page because he really goes into detail, and he's a defense lawyer. So he knows the ins and outs, and this is what he does on his channel. He covers all different trials. He covered the Rittenhouse trial. Right now he's got the one for the Oxford shooting. He's covering that one.
Cool.
There's one on here that says wheelchair killer. So what? I don't know what that's about.
Oh, that sounds rather heinous.
So anyway, there's some interesting other things on his channel, but his main thing right now is the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. So definitely check that out. Or go to Watching the Watchers on locals.com.
Right.
A lot of people are going to Locals because it's a free speech platform. So just to update, the other day we talked about Jane and the pilot. Then they also brought in Mr. Alessi, who was the housekeeper.
Right.
And he went over some interesting details. And that was on day 5, I believe, because that's the day they talked about certain cylindrical objects.
Yeah, being misplaced.
That he had to consistently clean and put away.
Yeah.
day 6, sorry, they introduce Kate. And then 7, they introduce Carolyn. And talk about messages and such things like that.
Right.
Day 8, the big question is she the villain or the victim? Bruh. She's queen villain.
Yeah.
I've read enough comic books, I know.
Well, what was that one Disney movie? Was it Maleficent?
Oh, I was thinking 101 Dalmatians, because Maleficent actually turns out to have a really interesting side to her story.
Right. Yeah, but
Cruella de Vil. She was just. That's who this. I almost said.
Don't
that's
say
who
it.
She is, though.
Yeah,
That's who she reminds me of. Just give her the white on one side. She looks like Cruella de Vil.
Oh yeah.
And
easily.
Actually, if you read the original stories and stuff, Cruella was a fashionista.
Yeah.
She wasn't the ugly form that they show in the Disney movies.
Right.
She was supposedly beautiful.
Right.
They portray her as ugly because her personality was ugly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But, anyways, and then day 9, I haven't watched yet. It looks interesting. He just released this though, so I haven't watched literally 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
FedEx Witness. So I don't know what that's about, but day 9, Ghislaine Maxwell trial. FedEx Witness. What?
Wow.
This is gonna get good.
What did they order from Amazon now?
And right?
And for those that
was it a penis-shaped rocket?
For those that want to look up this information yourself, you can go to the federalist.org/news-Epsteins-little-black-book-powerful-people-officially-debuted. We'll put a link in here for you.
Are you sure? You want to read that one more time?
And if you want, I'll put the link in there for the Federalist Papers. And these are just some of the names that we have here. And you go through, you can scroll through all the names. Or if you like, you can actually download the PDF by clicking the link in the lower left-hand corner. I was looking, I think it's down here a little bit more. Yeah, right here. Here's an interesting name for you. Baldwin. First name, Alec.
Oh, you mean that guy that didn't pull the trigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as a gun owner, I know guns just load and shoot themselves.
Oh, yeah. It's all the gun's fault.
Idiot.
So.
Yeah. we'll just leave that right
We'll
there.
leave it right there. Now, when you click the link in the lower left-hand corner, it's going to bring up another website. It's at ScribD, United States versus Ghislaine Maxwell, Government Exhibit 52. And you see a Download Now button. What it does is it downloads all 92 pages of the little black book.
Yeah, 92 pages.
92 pages.
And that's clients, girls, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Since we are kind of getting into this, something I wanted to bring up along the lines of her being the villain.
Right.
And I'm not the only one that thinks this either. I was watching Flawed the other day. It's another channel on YouTube. I watched FLAWD. He's pretty funny. And he does a lot of review type stuff, reaction type stuff,
Right.
But it's not just music videos. He reacts to news stuff. The other day I watched one where he was reacting to Ben Shapiro.
Right.
So, anyways, and he was talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. And he said the same thing that I was thinking. That she's the villain.
Right.
He's like, I look at Epstein and I see delinquent.
Yeah.
And you look at pictures of them together, he was enthralled with her, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Just totally, what's the word? Infatuated.
Infatuated.
Yes.
That is a good
Totally
word.
infatuated with her.
Yes.
Like a schoolboy infatuated with her.
Right.
And none of this, softens anything that he did.
No.
He was still a disgusting human being.
Yeah.
we won't get into that.
Hashtag creep.
Hashtag creep, bro. Oh yeah, Biden's in that hashtag too.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so but she comes in, and even the housekeeper kind of makes this more solid for me, because he said when she came in, everything became business. Before that, his work relationship with Mr. Epstein was very cordial.
Right.
It was very friendly. He referred to him as Jeffrey, so on and so forth.
Right.
Monsieur Jeffrey. Although he didn't say Monsieur because he's not French. But, it was very cordial. She comes in, everything's business, business, business. You can't look him in the eye. You have to refer to him as Mr. Epstein. Everything's done a certain way, certain time, every single day.
Yeah.
And from what I gathered anyways, it seemed that was when the black book ended up next to the phone.
Yeah.
In a business manner. Whether he had that book before, I don't know. Because he was up to weird shit before she came along. But I really kind of feel like he was more just a financier, accountant type. And yes, he was dabbling into weird things.
Yes.
With a lot of these people he already knew. Mm-hmm. But she came in and made it a business.
Right. She wanted a business that turned a profit.
Yes.
And which, if you look at the list of names on that little black book, such as Alec Baldwin's name on there, you'll also find some other interesting names. I'll leave that up to you to download the file and review it yourself. Come to your own conclusions. Think for yourself. I'm not going to think for you. I'm just pointing out the uncommonness of this
and a lot of
world.
people too, on the other side of the political spectrum, they want to point at Trump, which I'm the type that I'm not going to exclude anybody, really.
Right.
I'm not going to say automatically that they're guilty.
No.
Even though I don't like Alec Baldwin's acting, I wouldn't automatically jump to all of them being guilty.
Right.
Although I think he is. That's a different story. I mean, look at the way he talks to his own kids. What a creep.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, he's not a good person. He's not a nice person.
He's really not. Selfish.
Yes.
Conceited.
And he has anger issues.
Yeah.
And
arrogantly so.
Yeah, and he's in a position where he thinks that
he can get away with murder?
He can get away with murder.
Oh, wait, that's what he's trying to do right now. Yeah.
Oh, man.
One thing I will say about Trump, I don't know if he was involved with that or not.
I don't know.
But one thing I will say about him is that he cut ties with Epstein long before anybody else did.
Oh, yeah.
And
before he even ran for president.
There's an article, which actually I did show a screenshot of it in the last video. So watch the last video. Because there is a screenshot of an article I found about Trump. He banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
Because Epstein was flirting with a Mar-a-Lago client's daughter.
Yes.
Teenage daughter.
Yes.
And he said that behavior is absolutely unacceptable. You will not bring that here. Goodbye.
Yep.
You are the weakest link. Oh wait, that's what the Clintons said in the end too.
Yeah.
Really? Gosh, keep your mouth shut.
So these are all people that have actually, took flights or had something to do with Jeffrey Epstein.
This is the flight,
Yeah. And, like I said, read it yourself. You'll find some interesting names.
And the names that are blacked or blurred, or however they did it, those are victims.
Yes, those are the victims' names. So, count how many redactions you see, and you'll come up with a conclusion as to approximately how many victims there were. So, I'll leave it up to you.
I mean, even if a lot of them were multiple.
Right,
Even if you take a quarter of that and say that's the actual number of victims.
Right.
That's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of young girls.
Yeah. And
then you look at the numbers of how many kids from 17 and down go missing in America. every single year.
You know,
Burden wrote his whole song about it.
Who did?
Burden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's called Save Our Children or something like that, but yeah, he wrote a song about it. It's pretty profound. Like, he don't hold back. I mean, you've heard his music before. He doesn't hold back on anything.
No, he doesn't.
So he's pretty blatant about it. Like,
yes, he is.
We're so worried about COVID deaths, but what about all these kids that are going missing?
Exactly. And you know, if you actually added up missing children between the ages of, say, 12 to 16, that have been listed as runaways.
Yeah. And how many of them ran away and never came back?
And never came back and never seen or heard from again. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there in one city in particular, instead of using the whole U.S. statistics. But I wonder what that number is in New York City.
Yeah. Or Los Angeles.
Or Los Angeles.
Or Chicago.
Yeah.
I just had a thought in my brain.
Oh, you just lost your brain.
I did. I lost my brain.
Okay. Well, we can cut that out.
Yeah. It was something to do, you know, with the kids going missing and the... Oh, well, I was going to say, you know, when you look at the number of kids that go missing versus how many kids are in America.
Right.
And you take a percentage, it might not seem like a large percentage.
No.
But as rare as you might think it is, it's never rare when it happens to you.
Right.
And I actually, unfortunately, I thought of that because I was watching a thing earlier about this guy that is suffering from severe, you know, the thing.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Injuries from the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the just complete horrible backlash that he's getting from people, and
yes,
the hard time that he's going through. And I wish him well. I hope he gets through it, because
I hope so.
In the video I saw of him, he was talking about how emotionally hard it's been, to the point that he feels like ending his own life.
Right.
And he's working through that right now.
Yeah.
So I'm praying for that guy. But
definitely,
you know, and he said himself, it's rare.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's rare, but it never feels rare when it happens to you.
Right.
And it's like that with so many things.
Yeah.
Missing kids, any kind of, you know, injury, medical injury like that.
Right.
And how many parents have been going through that for years because their kids had a reaction to the polio, or to
the flu shot,
or what's that other one, the
rubella.
Yeah, but there's that other one too, human papilloma virus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
So that was just a profound statement that he made.
Yeah.
And it goes for so many horrible things. It never feels rare when it happens to you.
Right.
So, you know, and you never think it's going to happen to you until it does.
Right.
That's the hard truth about it all.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on from the sad situation of missing children.
Right. We've got a couple more topics that we can talk about. Texas HR38. And...
Is that Texas? No, that was Oregon.
No.
The article was from...
HR38 is the text, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Text of HR38 out of the 117th Congress of 2021 to 2022.
Yes. This is the one that I was talking about that Cliff Bent sent me I got that little, not pamphlet, but like a postcard looking thing.
Right.
In the mail about HR38. Well, so, and to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Bent's, but I think it's cool that this is happening.
Right,
so,
you have something in common.
Yeah, at least we got the Second Amendment in common. Because he voted against those other ones that were trying to restrict more rights and stuff
Right.
in Oregon. Alright, so go ahead and get into HR38.
I got
And
HR38 open right now.
Yeah, and then I'll do this other one.
All right. HR38. This is a bill that out of the 117th Congress, the first session. It was introduced in the House on January 4th, 2021. What it essentially does is to amend Title 18 United States Code to provide a means by which non-residents of a state whose residents may carry concealed firearms may also do so in that state or in the state. So this is something I totally agree with. Pretty much what it means is if you have a concealed carry and you go from one state to the next, they have to honor that concealed carry permit.
Now, is it just concealed carry, or is it your gun rights in general?
It's just carry concealed.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about,
Right.
because I just read the little pamphlet thing.
Okay. Yeah, it's just carry concealed firearms. That's all it is.
That's cool, though. So if you have your concealed weapons permit in Oregon, this bill would allow you to take that state to state.
Right.
So no matter what state you go to, you can go to California
Yep.
and be like,
Exactly. We got it here in Oregon, so yeah.
sorry, bro, I'm from Oregon.
I'm from Oregon.
Yeah, you can Oregon right out of here. By the way, it's Oregon, not Oregon.
Yes, it's
That,
Oregon.
that annoys me so bad. Or what was, my aunt and I were talking about some other ones today. Malin, Oregon? No, it's Malin.
Malin.
Okay. What's another one? Madras? No, it's
No.
Madras.
Madras. Yes, it is.
It's the Dalles, not Dallas.
Yes.
It's not the Dallas. Okay.
It's not the Dallas, no.
It is boring, though.
Yes. We do have boring. It's very boring in Oregon.
Or how many people don't know how to say Chiloquin? Or
Oh,
Wainima?
A guy I knew, a friend of mine's father, he passed away. He was an Air Force veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He always used to call Chiloquin kill a chicken.
Okay, well, there's a reason for that. Actually, it's funny because in this area we call it Chi-Town.
Yeah, we call it Chi-Town.
Anywhere else, Chi-Town is not Chiloquin for sure. It's
Yeah,
the little
it's
Chinese section of the town. Or
Chicago.
Or Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, depends, because like some places, like down in the LA area, there's a little Chi-Town.
Right,
You know,
and that's the Chinese part of the town. Yes.
Exactly.
The same in San Francisco.
Here it's full of natives, so be careful. They're still wild.
Yeah.
That's why we're friends. Dude, my favorite neighbors were native.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were awesome.
And anyone who wants to dox me, I'll give you a little heads up. I am a graduate of
That's
Chiloquin
right.
High School.
And not only that, but you've got more native in you than probably my cousin who's part Apache and looks part Apache.
Right. My grandmother on my father's side, she was 100% Cherokee Indian.
Well, actually, no, see, he's... I don't know, it's a weird split, but he's probably like a quarter, actually,
Well,
Apache.
That's
Because he's
cool.
Apache and Mexican on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still cool. All right. Now, again, we're showing you HR38 here. We gave you a brief description of what it's about. You can go. This is at www.congress.gov.
www.congress.gov.
And we'll link this down below the video.
Did you save it?
I'll save it.
Oh, sorry, I can type it in real quick.
It's kind of long.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll just save it.
And it's got special characters. So.
Dumb. That's ignorant. That's so ignorant.
And the other thing that we wanted to talk about
real quick,
because
there's actually two things. So we're gonna cover
Congresswoman Salazar.
No, we're going to get to her next. I want that to be our last one because I just want to read this real quick from...
All right.
This one's from Vision Times, and it was just the first one I clicked on. City in California. California City declares itself a constitutional republic, defying COVID-19 mandates. Whoop, whoop!
Yes, they're standing up. We're standing up. We're
Forced
taking a stand, and we're not taking it no more.
Inhumane is the main picture this lady's holding us, or this guy's holding us on it. There's a lady in front of him, sorry.
Right.
Alright. Dun, dun, dun. Oroville, California. A California town declared itself a constitutional republic last month to halt what city authorities refer to as increasing federal overreach concerning the imposition of COVID-19 mandates, with many saying the resolution has no teeth. The resolution, issued on November 2nd, stated, "Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved by the Oroville City Council that the city of Oroville is declared to be a constitutional republic city," adding that any executive orders issued by the state of California or by the United States federal government that are overreaching or clearly violate our constitutionally protected rights will not be enforced by the city of Oroville against its citizens. And I will link that article so you guys can read the rest of it if you want.
Yes.
But that's the basic gist of it. And this really broke out. The breaking point for them was the mandates for children.
Yes. You know, it's getting ridiculous now. They're trying to get children 5 years and up to get the thing. Because we can't say the thing. But they're trying to get the thing, get them to have the thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's unconstitutional. It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
And the Nuremberg Code, which, let me just note on that really quick. I watched a video on Rumble, which I really suggest everybody start going to Rumble. We're going to get more of our videos on there too.
Right.
It's working on being as user-friendly as YouTube.
Right. And it's doing a pretty good job so far.
And it's doing pretty good. They have an app for it out now. You can get the Rumble app. I actually just downloaded it. It's pretty cool.
And no, this isn't an advertisement for them. This is just what we use and what we feel about it.
And, I'm feeling it more and more with Rumble and on Minds rather than Facebook. I feel more free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not worried about being demonetized. I'm not worried about being,
we have
locked out of my account for a couple of days.
Right.
Like what happened to you?
Exactly. I went to FB jail for a little while.
Yep.
And all because I stated something that somebody else said.
Yeah. It wasn't even your words. It was a quote from someone else.
It was a quote from somebody else. And I posted it. And they said it's misinformation. And I'm like, it's a quote from the person. He either said it or he didn't say it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
What it is that they're trying to censor us.
Yep.
On all fronts.
Even the simplest memes are being censored.
Right.
There's one I have saved. I'll find it and put it up for you guys to see when you're watching the video, but it's so simple. It's like something like basically stand strong even if you have to stand alone. Something like that.
Yeah. It was a
and
picture.
You've seen that one.
Yeah, it was a picture of a flower behind
with
a
a
magnifying glass. Yeah.
And it's being censored.
And it's being censored. Yeah.
Why? What is uncouth about that? Oh!
Being different, not complying. I see. So you don't want people to be different. You want them all to be the same. You want them all to comply to the same silly orders that are all unconstitutional.
They want us to Heil Biden! Oh, did I say that aloud?
Oh, we can't do that. Sorry. You know better. every time we do that, he has a bowel movement.
I'm so sorry.
You scared him.
My butt's been wiped. How's it though? 'Cause we can still smell you, dude. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, take him back to the old folks' home. Oh, I'm sorry. Just take him home. You didn't even live at the White House, though.
All right, back on topic here.
All right, so the last thing, Crucial Communism Teaching Act.
Also known as the CCT Act.
Yes.
And this is where we're at today, December 2nd, 2021. And this is on Maria Elvira Salazar's page. She's a congresswoman there in Florida's 27th district. And
Did you save the link?
I saved the link.
Just gotta make sure.
And if I hope everybody gets a chance to go to these links, go to these sites, read the information yourself.
Yeah, because we can only brief over stuff,
Right.
you know, to make the show not too long to where people aren't going to watch it.
Right.
You know, we don't want to bore you guys with all the stuff. But, you know, and reading it yourself, watching things yourself, you're able to analyze it yourself.
Right.
Make your own judgment. Come to your own conclusions.
That's correct.
You know, I'm not here to tell you what you think. Butch isn't here to tell you what to think.
Nope.
We're just here to
help you think.
Yes.
To help you learn the information that they're trying to hide.
And to help you find some of the stuff that they're not putting out there, because it's what we do anyways.
Right.
I mean, honestly, that's why we started this, because I was already watching nothing but
news segments.
Which is really weird for me.
Right.
Because I was not into politics. I hated politics. And partly because to me it was so juvenile.
Right.
The way everything was run.
Yeah.
And obviously it's getting more juvenile by the second.
Correct.
But the irony of life, that's not now why I'm so involved, because having children, you realize that this isn't getting any better.
No.
And if I don't step up and say something, who's going to?
Exactly.
I can't sit around and wait for everybody else to do it for me.
No.
You know?
Yeah, you have to start doing it on your own.
So that's why we started doing this. Because
Right.
I was already into conspiracy theories and
Right.
digging deeper into everything and looking into what they don't tell me.
Right, and just to clarify things, our conspiracy theories have been proven, so they're conspiracy facts now.
Yeah.
So we're looking for new conspiracy theories. If you have one, comment below, and
I would love to hear it.
we would love to hear from you.
2020 was like, wow, I was right about everything. And then some.
And then some.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, 2020 happened, and it was like, I couldn't get away from politics because my conspiracy theories were now literally floating to the surface and coming to fruition.
Exactly.
Right? So, I'm like, I'm living in the Twilight Zone. You know what I mean? I'll tell you about
I know
time.
exactly what you mean.
So, that's what got us into this, because if we're doing this anyways, we may as well share the information with everyone else.
Right.
Yes, we give our opinions because we're American, we're entitled to give our opinions.
Right.
Still, I don't care what anybody says.
If you notice, anyone who's been following us now for a while, all the links that we have, everything we talk about, we include links with. And with those links, you can go to the site and see for yourself. These are facts we're talking about. They're not misinformation. They're actual facts. Just do the
And another
research on
thing,
your own.
too, is even when we forget or don't have the time or whatever to link this stuff,
Right.
it is available.
It is available.
I mean, I found it.
I prefer to use DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is a search
That's what
engine.
I have on my phone.
Yeah.
Is DuckDuckGo, yeah.
DuckDuckGo gives you impartial search results, not one-sided, not censored information.
Just the difference of what I get from memes when I search on Bing or Google or
Right.
anything like that versus what I get on DuckDuckGo on my phone.
Right.
I get so many better memes on my phone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
And the same goes with Minds versus Facebook. You get so many better memes. Like this one here.
Well, I recommend everyone to read this on Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar's page. And this is a press release that she's given. And it's about the Crucial Communism Teaching Act. Now, what does that mean? Well, we're going to break it down for you. We'll give you a brief synopsis, a Reader Digest version. And what it means is that they want to teach in school, make it mandatory to teach in school, so everybody knows the evils of communism and how it's destroyed people.
How the actual true history of communism, and how it has destroyed cultures and destroyed lives
and destroyed any kind of earnings for people.
Yeah.
When you have communism, you don't work for yourself anymore. You work for the state.
You know, someone was talking about Antifa the other day, and they said, you know, this whole thing, they're supposed to be anti-fascist.
Right.
So if they're anti-fascist, you know, why do they do these things that seem fascist?
Exactly.
Because they are not fascists. They are anti-fascist. They don't want you to be fascist or socialist. They want you to jump straight to communism.
Right. Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's a good point. Good point, man. Good point.
Well, I think it's funny. All these Antifa members that wants to call everybody else a Nazi, quite frankly, have never done a history lesson in their life. They know absolutely zip about World War II.
Do they not see the resemblance of their flag?
Oh, yeah. To the
I put that up on the video last week, too.
Yeah, to the anti-fascist flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same, pretty much, same flags that's showing on there.
It's so similar, dude.
Yes, it is so similar.
Literally, the little cross that the Nazis put up in the corner, it's replaced with the Antifa thing.
Right.
But it's got the red, the black, white, the, you know, big cross in the middle.
Right.
Like, it looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's that minute difference up there in the corner.
Yeah. And if you don't believe us, do your own research. And if you want to know a little bit more about them, you know how most Antifa all dress in black and they have their face covered. Well, it's because they don't want to be recognized or singled out for their actions. Why? Well, because they know they're wrong. But they're still going to do it.
Yeah.
They're still going to do it.
That's the direction that, you know, that's part of what happens when such drastic change happens in a culture.
Right. And if you haven't seen it,
and just look at the history of it.
Dinesh D'Souza
Yes.
put out a film called Death of a Nation.
It's good, too.
I encourage everyone to read it, or to watch it, rather, because it is very insightful. It has a lot of information, a lot of historical facts, and it opens your eyes to what they're not wanting you to see. I'm not going to give away the ending. You know, the butler didn't do it. But you need to watch it for yourself.
Though, we were just talking about the thing and the Nuremberg Code.
Oh, yeah.
So, apparently... Okay, I have to bring up Mark Twain again because, again, here we go with history mirroring itself.
Right.
Thank you, Mark Twain. In Germany, they are now like trying to do away with the Nuremberg Code in order to mandate vaccines.
And the reason the Nuremberg Code was put into place is because, the Nuremberg
and they
trials.
Wonder why Austria and Poland are like exploding right now?
Yeah. A lot of people just don't get it.
And if you actually do a search,
right,
and look at the protests from around the world, Europe is insane right now. There's videos of the streets literally packed with citizens.
Yes,
And
they are.
like, there was one video I saw. I don't know where in Europe it was. It just said, "Meanwhile in Europe" or something like that. It was on Rumble. Anyways, I showed it to my roommate, and she was like, "Dude, that looks like a scene out of World War Z." Straight up.
Yeah.
It did.
It is. It does. And I think...
Zombies and all? No, just kidding. Except the zombies are in uniform.
I encourage everyone to not just look at national news. Look at the world news.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on in Yemen. And I wasn't going to bring this up.
That's another one.
I'm going to bring it up because it was brought to my attention by a congressman. And the Biden administration and their ultimate wisdom and their feel-goodness, their helping hand.
Oh, you mean that administration that is not failing epically? Not failing epically.
They're the ones that are actually supplying Saudi Arabia with aircraft and weapons and everything else.
Gee, I never would have guessed that after what happened in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So
They got night vision now. What?
right now, Saudi Arabia has a blockade going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yemen is just a small little country. It's it's not all that big at all.
Itty bitty living space.
Itty bitty space. And they're such a small country, they have to import all their food.
Mm-hmm.
With the blockade up by Saudi Arabia and its allies, no food is allowed to get to Yemen. All the Yemenis, they are literally suffering.
Yeah, they're
literally
dying. Starving to
They're
death.
starving to death daily.
Yep.
There is a picture of this, what was it, a 3-year-old kid? And usually you weight about a 3-year-old kid is about 30 pounds, a little more than that, between 30 and 40 pounds. They had this 3-year-old kid over there in Yemen. 3 years old. Barely weighed 10 pounds.
10?
10.
Are you? Wow.
Yes.
Sorry that I yelled in the mic. Sorry, that was.
Yeah. 10 pounds, barely. And the Biden administration...
You know what's really sad is this
is
is what's happening in China and North Korea every day.
Yeah.
Has been for decades.
Well, the Biden administration, they know what's going on. They know what's happening. They know the stranglehold that the Saudi Arabia is putting on Yemen.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does, what the Biden administration is doing is still sending out replacement parts for all these weapons and aircraft and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And mechanics to go fix all this stuff.
They're literally supplying them.
They're supplying them with all these weapons.
With all the equipment they need.
Exactly. And so the Biden administration is now committing genocide on a countrywide scale.
Yes. For so many things. You got the Afghanistan thing, now you got this Saudi Arabia thing adding to that. You've got the vaccine mandate that was, not sure what's happening with the Build Back Better thing.
The Build Back
pass?
Better joke. It hasn't passed yet.
Yeah, because...
they're waiting on,
aren't they waiting on the Supreme Court right now? Because my aunt said she thought it passed through Congress.
Through the House, or
maybe it was through that, whatever. Whatever it was.
I think it's being debated now.
Is it?
That's what I know.
Well, I know the mandate was shut down.
Right. Yeah.
They were told it was, what? Unconstitutional.
Fifth Circuit Appeals Court down in Texas ruled that the Biden administration's vaccine... Oh, can't say the word. The mandate... the mandate is unconstitutional, and it's very broad in scope, which gives the government unlimited power against the person. So they can do whatever they want to a person. They can
Yep.
inject whatever they want. They can use this as human guinea pigs.
It basically
They could kill you if they
cancels
wanted to.
out the Nuremberg Code.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do. But I believe the Nuremberg Code because it made a statement. It drew a line in the sand that
Yep.
anyone involved,
Yep. And there has to be a line.
anyone involved is culpable.
Yeah. Is
And liable.
you are a culprit to
Yeah.
the crisis, whatever that crisis may be, whether
Yeah.
it's genocide or
Yep.
mass sickness, which leads to genocide.
Yeah.
There was another thing I was going to mention on this subject.
But I wanted to put that out there. Yeah.
2 states,
Two
I know
states.
for sure,
Uh-huh.
are suing the Biden administration. Was it Texas and Missouri?
I think so.
I think it was Texas and Missouri. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I'd have to look it up.
Look it up.
But
do the research yourself.
I know there's 2 states
Uh-huh.
that are suing the Biden administration because of the border crisis.
Yep. I
Yep.
think Florida's
And
one
they are
of the.
demanding
I think Florida's one of the
that he
states. too.
finish the wall.
Yeah.
I think Oregon should say finish it too.
Yeah.
Because all those crazies are bringing their shit up here.
Yeah. You know
Get out of
what?
my
What
backyard.
I think
Get
is
out
funny
of
is
my
that
Sorry.
people that are in a leadership role, it's not showing much leadership. We don't answer to them; they answer to us. We pay them
You know
to
why?
do a job for us.
Because they don't read good.
They don't read so good.
No, I saw a thing in the library today that said, good readers make good leaders. I was like, oh, that's Biden's problem. Shoot.
Oh, but yeah, it's just ridiculous.
But this Communism Teaching Act,
Yes.
I feel like it has the potential to change things in a positive way. And I watched the Forbes coverage on it.
Right.
I've actually started watching Forbes more, and believe it or not, they're less biased.
Yeah.
Like, I started watching them because I realized they're not biased. They're literally just showing you this is what's happening.
Right.
You know? So I'm watching them a lot, and some of them are really long.
Yeah.
Because it's like conferences and things like that.
Right.
But it was great listening to them talk about all these different people talking about, and her talking about her experience, her family's experience with communism.
Yeah.
Which is why she proposed this bill. And the goal of it is to teach that communism kills.
Right. And it's true. I mean, you have to look at Russia.
Look at Venezuela,
Look at
Cuba.
yeah, China now.
China now, North Korea. You know, and Russia goes back so far because they've been communist a few times.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any communist, socialist, or fascist country,
Right.
look up their history.
No, yeah.
Read what their people went through. Read the accounts of what people
Right.
said that have come from those countries.
Yeah.
You know? Or who's that girl that's kind of gone viral? She's a North Korean defector.
Oh.
Cute little thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
And her story is just, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And uplifting all at the same time. It's like reading Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah. But it's heartbreaking. It's uplifting, and then it's
Except her story has a happier ending than Memoirs
Right.
of a Geisha.
but it's also worrying.
Mm-hmm.
It's cause for concern. And the reason I say this is because she tells the story of her growing up in North Korea, in communist countries.
Yep.
Her getting away, coming to America for a
Being
new life.
trafficked along the way.
Yep. And then what she sees here in America going on right now is the same thing she escaped.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us cause for concern.
And she noticed it when she was in college.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of the...
Because there was things that she wasn't allowed to do reports on or whatever. There was an essay or something like that she wanted to write on a certain historical figure, and they told her she couldn't write about that woman. I don't remember who it was now.
Wow.
But, yeah. And that's when she really, really hit her how concerning this was.
Right.
That she couldn't talk about certain things. She couldn't even research certain people for her projects in school.
Right.
This is not critical thinking. This is not free thinking. This is controlled
This is indoctrination.
thinking, which is indoctrination.
Yeah.
Another one, though, that I've actually enjoyed watching off and on over the last year or two is Pitbull.
Yes, Pitbull.
And he goes off.
You know,
so if you have kids around, you don't want to hear, you know.
Right.
There's lots of language. It's Pitbull.
It's Pitbull. You know, it explains a lot.
It's also
right there.
enlightening in a whole different way.
Yes. Because he is Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
And
directly from
Cuba. And he escaped from there.
There's a soccer player, too, that has spoke out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Pitbull,
he went viral last year.
He nails, you know, he talks about communist Cuba growing up there. And he talks about how America is the land of the free and you could be anything you want as long as you put the effort into it. If you work for it, you get to keep it. That's what I think.
That's right. And not only that, not just that, because there's other things that we have that other countries don't.
Right.
I watched what's a show called Slightly Offensive with Elijah Schaefer. He does a lot of interviews and stuff. I like his debate panels. And you learn a lot about people during a debate panel.
Right.
I learned that even more so, I don't care for Bryson Gray. I think he is very overcovered.
Yes.
He's very hyped up. And he's that type that tries to be so Christian that he becomes the judgmental person that a Christian tries supposed to not to be.
Right.
You know.
Right. You should not be prejudiced in any kind of way.
So I watched this interview or this debate, and it was Bryson Gray, John Doyle, some trans chick. She was kind of weird. But this one gay kid, his name's Joey something. I don't remember his name now. I'm sorry. But he's this little Cuban kid, and his accent's very strong, so it's kind of hard to listen to, like, to follow along with him the whole time. Right. And he talks fast, and he's always so excited, and he's so excited about being an American. Like, he's one of those, I love America, yeah! You know, he reminds me of Fez. So, but one of his points that he was making, because his family came from Cuba. Mm-hmm. And in Cuba, you can't be gay. Right?
Right.
There is nothing on television that would influence that. Right? Everything on there is Castro approved, you know what I mean? So, him growing up being gay, he knew it was something he couldn't talk about. Right. He knew he was different. He knew you know. Right. And so he's talking about this stuff and about growing up in Cuba, and then Bryson Gray comes back with something like, well, if you had better parents, you wouldn't have ended up like that. Yeah. Whoa! What a judgmental statement to make, Mr. Christian guy. Yeah. Mr. preaching down everybody's throat all the time. Because, and the kid came back with, I need to address him about this, because you don't seem to realize what it's like in Cuba, and that's when he went into detail about this stuff was not there. You never saw or heard about two men kissing or two women kissing. It was never on television. No one talked about it. And his parents are Catholic. Yeah. So, where does your judgment come from? Yeah. it's not just the basic freedoms, our freedom of speech and our, freedom to pursue happiness and all of that.
Right.
But it also goes down to some of those social things that people are all up in arms about, whether it's being gay or whatever,
Right.
that are not acceptable in other countries that are here.
Yeah.
And that was his biggest thing, was if it wasn't for his parents being able to make it to America and them becoming citizens, he never would have been able to be himself.
Right.
And that's why he loves this country so much.
Yeah.
Because he has the freedom to speak what he wants to speak.
Right.
To be who he wants to be. And to protect himself in doing so. You know?
Oh, yeah. And
a lot of immigrants are more pro-gun than a lot of these other, that grew up in America, because they don't understand why this right is so important. They've always had cops to have their back. Well, what happens when the cops are actually against you?
Right.
What happens when they've become the Nazis?
Yeah. The Gestapo.
And that's what happened,
Right.
Just like Australia right now. They don't have freedom to own their own guns.
Nope.
They don't have freedom to do a lot of things, especially now. Anyways.
Anyway, you about ready to end this?
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Okay, I just want to say one quick thing. Before we go, I'd just like to mention the divisive nature. The divisive nature of the left of the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the ones that are pushing for different colors.
Yep.
Different ethnic groups.
They are the ones separating us into different groups.
Right. They're categorizing us.
And for
That's
those
discrimination if you haven't
who
heard.
don't completely fall into their description of this category, they'll move to this category.
Right.
Say like your blacks or your Latinos that don't agree with the narrative of being oppressed or whatever, they're moved to our group, which is deplorable.
We're deplorables. Not because we're Trump supporters, because,
No, we're deplorable because of this thing right here on my hat.
Right.
See? They don't want that.
They don't want that. They don't want people to believe in America
for all of those
anymore.
that want a different flag, who want a different national anthem, you go make your own country.
Exactly.
You go be your own country. We are America.
Right.
You can be America number 2. We're number 1.
Exactly.
That's right. Because 2 is not a winner and 3 nobody remembers.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's right. Shake and bake.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and end this segment of Uncommon Sense. And hopefully it's been a little informative for you today. And I apologize if I'm looking over this way quite a bit because that's where Billy's sitting.
Yeah, I keep looking over there.
I think we're going to have to reposition our cameras so that we we can have, looking at each other and still have that discussion going on.
Right. Yeah, we got to get our setup here. This is the first time with cameras on.
Yeah.
So it's not so bad.
I think we're doing all right.
I feel like it's going to be less work for me. I don't have to upload the video from scratch.
Yes.
That was hard work, guys. I was running out of memes.
And again, these are the faces behind the voices. If you like it,
yeah, I don't know. Let us know. You want to see our ugly mugs, or would you rather see the memes?
Yeah,
I don't care either way. I guess, but honestly, this will be less work for me.
This will be a lot less work.
I still want to do like a meme of the week at the beginning of the video, like I've been last couple of videos. Because memes are fun. My favorites are the ones we're not allowed to post.
I'd like to give a shout out to a special group out there, Conspiracy Theory and Adventuring. And
you know who you are.
You know who you are. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for following us, and thanks for listening and watching.
Damn it, Billy. Give me back my liquor.